Pig episodes is really fun, and sharing those mistakes with you all is even more fun. And in this video, we're going to share some more mistakes that we found in Peppa Pig, like in the episode Grandpa Pig's Birthday. The Pig family goes to a fancy restaurant to celebrate Grandpa Pig's birthday. When they arrive at the table, we can see there are 4 napkins there. But the mistake is, when Daddy Pig puts on the napkin on Peppa and George, the 2 other napkins simply disappear. No one else besides Peppa and George is wearing the napkin, so where did it go? Now this next error is really weird. In the episode Playgroup Star, Peppa wins her first star for making a wonderful drawing of her house. And when she's showing her drawing to Madame Gazelle, we can notice that the background of her drawing is white. Later in the episode, when Peppa hangs her drawing on the wall, the background is still white. So far so good. But the mistake is, when Peppa asks Daddy Pig if he ever got a playgroup star, we see a flashback about Daddy and Mummy Pig. And when the flashback is over and we get to see the classroom again, notice Peppa's drawing has now a blue background, when earlier we clearly saw it had plain white background. Maybe the animators didn't like the drawing and decided to add the background to it. In the episode, The Great Barrier Reef, Peppa and her family continue their Australian holiday. Right at the beginning of the episode, we can notice a barbecue grill near the front door. Later in the episode, everyone jumps aboard Mrs. Kangaroo's submarine for an amazing adventure to explore the Great Barrier Reef. But when they return back after exploring the sea, we can notice the barbecue grill isn't there anymore. Unless someone stole it while they were gone, it should be right there. Maybe Australia has their own version of Mr. Fox. In the episode, Grandpa Pig's Greenhouse, Peppa and George are at Grandpa Pig's house, exploring the greenhouse. And in one of the scenes where Grandpa Pig is throwing the football at Grandad Dog's greenhouse, we can notice a watering can and some flower pots that are upside down. But the mistake is, when Grandad Dog kicks the football back to Grandpa Pig, we can notice the flower pots and the watering can have disappeared. But earlier, they were right there. And that's not all. Later in the episode, when Peppa, George, and Grandpa Pig enter the greenhouse, we can notice the watering can and the upside-down flower pots beside this giant plant. But if we go back to the beginning of the episode, we can see there were no such objects anywhere near the giant plant. Maybe the watering can and the upside-down flower pots walked into the greenhouse on their own. In the episode In a Fairy Tale, we see the Pig family walking to Grandma Pig's house. Outside Granny Pig's house, they encounter Mr. Wolf. If we look at Mr. Wolf, we can notice he's wearing a purple outfit with a shirt and tie underneath. But when they go inside the house, Mr. Wolf is there having lunch with everyone. And at that moment, you'll notice his shirt and purple tie have vanished as if by magic. And that's not all, there's another mistake. Here we see Grandma Pig placing a huge number of potatoes in the middle of the kitchen table. And then the scene focuses on Grandpa Pig as he mentions how much he loves potatoes. Then the scene widens to show the whole kitchen again, and we see that each character now has a potato on their plates. However, both the serving dish and the remaining potatoes have disappeared. Maybe Mr. Wolf wasn't kidding when he said he was very hungry, because the only explanation for this is that he ate all the potatoes and the dish along with them. In the episode Daddy Pig's Birthday, Peppa, George, and Mommy Pig are preparing a surprise for Daddy Pig. In one of the scenes, we see that while Peppa and George carry buckets of water, Mummy Pig leaves the house with a total of 4 balloons. But when the family finishes tying them to the tree branches, we see a total of 6 balloons, 2 more than what we saw in the first place. It must have been a balloon multiplication miracle. But there's still a mystery involving these same balloons. Notice that when Daddy Pig arrives and is taken to the spot, the balloon colors are different from when they were just hung up. Specifically, the yellow and pink balloons suddenly change places. Maybe these balloons are magical. In the episode about nursery rhyme, we noticed a really funny error that a few people noticed. When the children leave school to sing Danny Dog's song, we can see that they form a single line with Danny, Peppa, and Pedro at the front, followed by other children, and only then do we see George, who is behind Wendy Wolf. But moments later, after Danny starts singing, and we see the children's line again. But the issue is, George is now behind Susie Sheep. But earlier, we clearly saw George was way behind the line. Maybe George decided to cut the line, which we must say isn't a nice thing to do. In the episode, Madame Gazelle House, Peppa, George, Mummy, and Daddy Pig have gone to visit Madame Gazelle. When they get into the house, the family soon realize that her house is being pushed over by the tall tree next to it. Now look carefully. Here we can see there's nothing on the tree's branch. But later in the episode, when Mr. Bull climbs up the tree, we can notice an owl, a bird's nest, and a beehive. We can notice various toys and items on top of the counter inside the classroom.